The first time he saw her, she was standing under a flickering streetlight, clutching her coat as if it were the only thing holding her together. It was late. The kind of late where the world feels abandoned, where even the wind seems hesitant to move. He had just finished a long shift, his daughter asleep in the back seat, her small breath steady and soft. He almost drove past. Almost. But something about the way she stood there, still, but not calm, made him slow down. He pulled over. "Are you okay?" he asked, lowering the window just enough to let his voice carry. She turned, startled. Her eyes were sharp, alert, but beneath that, something fractured. "I'm fine," she said quickly. He nodded, but didn't drive off. People who were fine didn't look like that. "Do you need a ride?" he asked. A pause. A long one. Then, quietly, yes. Her name was Layla. She didn't say much at first. Just directions. Short answers. The kind that kept distance intact. He didn't push. He knew what it was like to carry too much and have no words for it. His daughter stirred in the back seat. Layla glanced over her shoulder. "She's yours?" "Yeah," he said, a small smile touching his face. "Everything I've got." "How old?" "5. "She's lucky," Layla murmured. He didn't respond right away. Instead, he focused on the road ahead. "No," he said finally. "I am." That was the first time Layla looked at him properly. Over the next few weeks, he saw her again. And again. Always at night. Always in places where people weren't meant to linger. A bus stop with no buses. A bench too cold to sit on. Once, outside a closed cafe, staring at the dark glass like it held answers. Each time, he stopped. Each time, she accepted. The conversations grew longer. She told him she used to live somewhere brighter. Somewhere louder. Somewhere full of people who knew her name. "What changed?" he asked once. She hesitated. "Someone forgot who I was," she said. He didn't understand then. But he would. His name was Kareem. He worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3, just to keep things steady. His life was built on routine and sacrifice. There wasn't much room for surprises. Layla became one anyway. She started bringing small things for his daughter. A hair clip. A storybook. Once, a tiny knitted scarf. "You don't have to do that," Kareem said. "I want to," she replied. And he believed her. But there were moments, small cracks, when something else showed. A hesitation when a black car drove past. A sudden silence when certain names came up on the radio. A look in her eyes that said she was somewhere else entirely. The truth came on a night soaked in rain. She was already in the car when he arrived. Sitting quietly, hands folded in her lap. "I need to tell you something," she said. Kareem nodded. "Okay." She took a breath that seemed to pull the whole world into it. "I'm married." He blinked. That wasn't what he expected, but it wasn't shocking either. "All right," he said carefully. "To a man who owns half the city," she continued. "That changed things." Kareem said nothing. "He wasn't always like this," she added. "Or maybe he was. I just didn't see it." "What happened?" She laughed softly, but there was no humor in it. "He stopped coming home. Then he stopped calling. Then one day, I stopped existing." Kareem felt something tighten in his chest. "I found out about her," Layla said. "Not because he told me. Because he forgot to hide it." Silence filled the car. "And now?" Kareem asked. "I'm waiting," she said. "For what?" "For the moment I finally leave, and mean it." Kareem didn't know what to say. He wasn't a man of grand advice or dramatic gestures. His world was simpler than that. But he understood pain. And he understood staying too long. "You don't need permission," he said gently. She looked at him. Sometimes, she replied, you do. Days passed. Then weeks. And then, one night, she didn't show up. Kareem told himself it was nothing. But something felt off. The city felt different. Quieter in a way that wasn't peaceful. He drove past the places he usually found her. Nothing. Until finally, he saw it. A large house, lights blazing, people moving in hurried shadows. And outside, Layla. Standing alone. He parked without thinking. Stepped out into the chaos. Layla. She turned. Her face was calm. Too calm. It's over, she said before he could ask. What happened? He brought her here, she said simply. Into my home. Kareem clenched his jaw. And that was it, he asked. No, she said. That was clarity. She stepped closer. I kept waiting for him to remember me, she said. But he didn't. Her voice softened. So I remembered myself instead. There was something different about her now. Not lighter. But steadier. Like someone who had finally set down a weight they didn't realize they were carrying. What will you do? Kareem asked. She smiled faintly. I don't know, she admitted. But it will be mine. He drove her away from that house. Away from the lights. Away from everything that had kept her stuck. His daughter woke up halfway through the drive, blinking sleepily. Hi, she mumbled to Layla. Hi, Layla whispered back. You're nice, the little girl said. Layla's eyes filled, just for a moment. Thank you. They didn't define what came next. They didn't need to. Some things grow quietly. Without promises. Without expectations. Just presence. Months later, the city still whispered about the billionaire and his scandal. But Kareem didn't listen. He had other things to focus on. Like the way his daughter laughed louder now. Or the way Layla no longer avoided her reflection. Or the quiet understanding that had formed between them. Not out of rescue. Not out of need. But out of something far more rare. Two people who found each other not at their best. But at the exact moment they chose to become better. And sometimes, that's where the real story begins.